Until they came 2 months ago, trail that said wow, it was a long walk. It was probably 50 minutes. And then I came up. I brought that would offset
Well, true. So, everybody thinks that's so fire.
that property is so good. I'm telling you, we got lost looking for the Boy Scout cabin.
Oh, yeah.
That we searched around until we found a cabin. Some girl jumped up through it, not the cool ones. And it was like, wow. Not to the Boy Scout ones. But probably over.
They're at
Dude, the ride. Flyers at all the windows on the inside.
Really?
So that no one could open it. Wow. I got into the padlock.
I'll pretend I'm a midget.
Had to look at
We'll do a puppet show. We'll have a puppet show here, right? No, I fixed it. It's not as low as it used to be. It's all good. I'll pray for us while we're down here.
But they were on the building side.
The only time I ever went to church with the town of Lyman was at Morris's funeral. Oh, I've been bathing this in prayer. Anyway, it's good insurance.
They were all involved in the same conversations we were.
What I heard from my parents last night was at least kind of the same things that now they saw and said,
Dude, I don't know because the water was so high, I couldn't look under. Before I got right out, it was even looking, the water was low. We went, when did we go? Was it?
There was still snow.
There's still snow. Yeah. March.
Was there? I just, the water was so high, I couldn't look under to see. It looked like it had been cribbed because I came across and I was like, all right, I'm going across. And then the next one, next thing I went back, was like 8 and 5. I'm like, okay, well,
It didn't move.
I mean, you can still see the pylons in the water. To do something. It's all, if you look at it, it's all twisted
I
twigs.
feel very fancy.
Yeah, it's
now
twist-
with fancy name tag and everything.
At least it didn't move. Like when anybody walked on it, it didn't move. So, oh yeah,
No, it did move, so
yeah.
they did something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I didn't need it. I knew that.
Stand up.
Yeah, it was the flames.
Don't give me one. No, Alice is sitting in my chair. It's fine. I gave it to her.
Yeah, no. My game now says it better for it.
Oh, I should take some.
Give me the game set. I'm gonna take it to you.
You'll never get used to that.
And they're like, now we'll keep the games where they are. And so
I remember another special town meeting was where
so
people
I
were
get a call and
standing
say, oh, no.
outside in the shrubbery. It's called Woodland Grove, and it was probably 3 feet over.
And then I get another call. No, it's at
Fire
7.
chief, it was county, it's only allowed 20 people.
It's 7.
I like your shirt. Old Evan, are you an Old Evan fan?
We should have brought the during this 55 years. We gotta think ahead about that. Other people are gonna be 55.
He didn't even think to bring some chairs over, which is really rude. He did, he gave it to Alice. Do it, I challenge all of you to do it. Somebody.
Yes.
Now I feel too tall and I'm ready to the shorts.
Well, come down here, we'll have a puppet show.
I'll get my chair up. Yeah.
There you go. I used to say that I'd sit on an apple crate and do
So is this standing taller than we could get a better shot?
I'm the same height anyways.
Are we like gonna kneel and pray? I might never get back up.
Yeah.
I'm not kneeling, I'm not a church.
I'm not gonna be able to get up.
It looked like it was like copy and pasted in.
Yeah. What's that?
Looks like it's been copy and pasted.
I wonder if that, was that the one that somebody signed? Like when we were signing stuff, where the signatures were on everything?
It's 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order.
Oh, maybe. I mean, that's me.
Hi, my name is Richard Hull, and I've been elected the moderator of this meeting. The first order of business would be if everyone would stand, we'll say Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If everybody could put their cell phones on either vibrate or mute, I'd appreciate it. As with past town meetings, the rules of procedure for this will be as set forth in the Maid Moderator's Manual, which was now in the 7th edition in 2021. There is a quorum here tonight. The charter requires for a special town meeting 15 voters, and we have 15 here. There are 3 non-residents today. They're kind of segregated over there, interspersed with a resident, including Lindsay, who's the town manager. And if they are asked to speak, it will require a vote of 2/3 of the House to allow a non-resident to speak. I would note that in looking at the warrant article, The recommendation of the selectmen was on one side of the coin, and the recommendation of the budget committee was on another side. And I do want everyone to remember that we're neighbors, and when we have a discussion tonight, I don't want anyone to engage in personalities because I think that can be avoided, but we should have a discussion of what is germane to the warrant article. Article 2 of the warrant reads, to see if the town will vote to appropriate from surplus the sum of $134,746 for the salaries and benefits of the separate and distinct administrative positions of the town clerk and the select board clerk. Is there a motion with respect to this? It's been moved and seconded. Now, for purposes, I guess because this is being broadcast on YouTube, when people want to speak, if they could come to the microphone. I know we can probably all hear each other in this room, but the mic's necessary for the YouTube proceedings. And I don't know if the selectmen are prepared to do this, but if they would like to address what their position was in this, and if there's a member of the budget committee that would like to speak and discuss what their position was, then we can have a discussion of the article. Vicky.
Open for discussion?
Open for discussion.
Thank you. Victoria Gable, Kennybunk Pond Road. It's been a long road. I was never in favor of separating the position of town clerk. I thought it was very important at town meeting when we discussed it about checks and balances that are provided by that. I disagreed. I'm the selectman vote that voted, the one that I voted nay to do that when I was on the budget committee. So anyhow, I don't believe, I think the town clerk should be separate. I still stand on that. Nothing has changed there. I believe to separate the select board clerk from the town manager duties is redundant and a little bit silly. I'm not in favor of that. So I really don't know how to vote this article, but I would have, is there a way to propose an amendment to the article?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I think that they are two separate portions of the article, and it would be possible to propose an amendment to that.
I have a proposed amendment. When would be a proper time?
If you'd like to make it now.
I'd like to make the proposed amendment to see if the town will vote to appropriate from surplus the sum of $60,217 for the salary and benefits for the separate and distinct administrative position of town clerk.
Is there a second to that? It's been seconded. So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion with respect to that, the amendment? Joanne?
I'm just wondering, does the benefits of town clerk have to be
Joanne,
included?
Sorry.
I can scream.
No, that one right there. I don't know if it's on. You may want to check.
Hello? Hello?
It's just.
It's only to
Yeah.
come across on the
I
broadcast.
can talk louder.
Show us how you cut the blues. Go ahead.
It's not for
Oh,
speakers.
no.
It's not for speakers.
Okay, no, my question is, are the benefits for the town clerk included in that $60,000?
Yes. Salaries and benefits.
And the salary and benefits prorated just to start from today on?
Well, at the town meeting, the information provided was The total salaries and benefits were approved by Article 32 were $953,967. Total salaries and benefits requested on Article 16 was $934,594. So the difference is $19,373. Some information from the treasurer's spreadsheet was this 22-23 salary for the town clerk was $56,850. The benefits, 40% were $22,740 for a total of $79,590. Less the difference between the Article 32 and 16 of $19,373 leaves the total that I'm asking for from surplus to be $60,217.
I don't totally understand it all, but my main question,
That's how I got this, or we got this number.
right, but this is not for a full year, 60,000. It's just for the remaining year? Or is it a full year's?
It's
salary?
for this fiscal year that we're in, that we just started July 1st.
So how have you been, no one's been paid that fee at all?
The town manager is currently the town clerk.
But didn't get paid any money for it?
Gets paid an annual salary as the
Just
town
the
manager.
annual salary, and his or her annual salary will not be reduced by this? No? Okay. I guess I got my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Katrina.
It's really pushing and getting me up, you know.
Hey, everyone, Ann.
But they're inflexible.
Nice.
And barefooted, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Katrina Randall. I live on Williams Road in Lyman. My question is, this $134 plus $1,000, is that money that we had already appropriated, or is it new money that we need to come up with? I don't know if I have asked the question properly, but
It's new.
it's new money.
It's surplus money.
Surplus. So we had a town clerk and we had a selectman's clerk. And where did those funds go when Lindsay became all three? Are they part of her salary?
So funding was allocated to give a town manager a salary, and then anything that was left over from what was appropriated, and correct me if I'm wrong here, at town meeting went into surplus.
Okay, thank you.
Jeanette didn't shout, so I guess. But she also didn't give me a look.
Yes.
Don Hernan, 33 Murphy's Way. Right now, we have 3 positions rolled into one, is that correct?
Mhm.
I'm sorry? 4, how do you get 4? Register. So is there a written contingency plan in case the current town manager who handles all these duties gets sick, quits, gets ill, gets hit by the beer truck?
The proverbial beer truck.
The beer truck, yeah. So, it just seems we have the town has all its eggs administratively in one basket. And if something happens, I'm not commenting on the performance, I think the performance has been good. However, I'm just saying, what's the plan? Is there a plan in case that individual is not available to perform the duties assigned? Because right now, you got 5 selectmen, I would hate to see you here doing the work that maybe you want to, I don't know.
No,
I can only
thank
say
you.
if you don't have administrative help, I can base this on what happened with the planning board. We unfortunately lost the CEO and also the administrative support. There quite a lot of time in catching up, and probably we didn't do everything perfectly either. Not that we do anyway, but that's another subject. So anyway, that's my question. Is there a written contingency plan that would handle this kind of situation? Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say written contingency plan, no, but I would say that there are employees that are deputized in those functions to handle the day-to-day.
Thank you.
Joe Wagner, 26 Day Road. The principal purpose of the article as originally written was to separate the town clerk's position from the town manager's position. State law describes the duties of town managers and town clerks distinctly, differently, different sections of law. There's one item in state law with respect to the removal and suspension of a town manager. It reads, the select board may remove or suspend the town manager for cause in accordance with the following procedures. The select board shall file a written preliminary resolution with the town clerk stating the specific reasons for the proposed removal. What happens if the person who is the town manager is also the town clerk? Makes for a rather awkward situation. There are separate professional associations in the state for town clerks and town managers. In the newly adopted town charter, there are separate sections and descriptions for town manager and town clerk. There's a clear separation between positions on the organizational diagram on page 29 of the charter. The purported basis for consolidating the positions was budgetary. That is not mentioned in the charter as a basis for consolidation. Consolidating part-time positions makes sense. Combining full-time positions burdening one person with too many responsibilities does not make sense. The original understanding and intent of the Charter Commission members should be considered. At least 3 of those members signed the petition to hold this special town meeting tonight. At the June 15 meeting, I mentioned I did some research and compared other towns that were about the same size as Lyman, 4,500 in population, and found of those 13 towns, none had consolidated both the town manager and town clerk. Now, at the public hearing for this meeting, I did some additional research and found that there are 23 towns throughout the state between 4,000 and 5,000 in population. 19 have separate town managers and town clerks. 2 have town clerks only. Now, there are 2 out there that do combine positions, Green and Monmouth. Well, in the case of Green, they've got 3 deputy clerks. In Monmouth, they've got an office manager and 2 deputy clerks. It seems a little bit incongruous and incompatible for the person who conducts and certifies elections, the town clerk, to be the person who, as town manager, is hired by and directly answers to those who hold elective office. The financial amounts that were originally in here were drawn from the June 15 meeting. And one thing with respect to the amount that has been offered here, we are now going, if this is adopted, we're now 4 months into the fiscal year. So we need only about 67% of the amount that has been requested to cover the position. Again, this money is coming from surplus, no increase in taxation. And for the possible effect on funding in the future, a handout was provided at the public hearing for the special town meeting before, showing computations for the next fiscal year. Now, again, we're speaking mainly of the town clerk position, but according to that handout, the possible projected increase in taxation for both of the positions would amount to a mill rate increase of 22 cents. That would increase the property tax for a home assessed at $350,000 to be $77 a year, $6.42 a month. While not inconsequential, it is a worthwhile investment. If this does result in increase in the mill rate for efficient and effective government, worthwhile. Now, budgetary concerns were put forth as the rationale behind the consolidation of positions in the first place. We live in tough economic times. Families are having a tough time getting by. We are a community that is fully aware of this. We are not a community that callously imposes taxation and threatens confiscation of property as a means of enforcement. We are a community that actively seeks to balance the tax burden with the effective and efficient provision of necessary government services. I would support the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Yes.
I was the one budget. Michelle Felicetti, River Drive. I'm the one budget committee member that voted against. There's nothing illegal about the positions being combined. Change is hard. I think it should be given a chance. The model the select board came up with, $70 to $70 a year may seem like a lot, but we just got an email from third grade class saying half the class is coming without snacks. They're encouraging kids that come with snacks to share with their neighbors. $77 is a lot of money to families. In addition to losing mill rate this year, and then you want to pile this on for, there's towns that have the town clerk and town manager, same position. There's nothing legal about it. But it may seem awkward to some that you might have to fire the town manager and they have to certify it. Those same towns probably took that under consideration as well. I think before we dip into our neighbors' pockets, the model that the select board looked into to save our neighbors money should be considered and went on for a year. It hasn't even gone for 4 months fully. And so I vote against the amendment.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Susan Briggs. I live on opposite Waterboro Road on Briggs Way now. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm going to speak as a private citizen. I am on a committee, and I don't want this to be anyway construed as being influenced by that committee. I was just going to give a brief history of events so that some of the people here that did not go to the town meetings or attend some of the board meetings might understand that in November of 22, we voted in the charter. In that charter, it included a flow chart for departments and who was responsible to who. The select board heads all of them. They do a wonderful job, and I'll just pass that around in case nobody's seen the flow chart. The select board heads them all, and then beneath that select board is the town manager. Below her is her responsibility, or if it was somebody else, the responsibility to manage 14 different departments within the town. So basically, the town manager is responsible for the town clerk, for the road department, for the transfer station, for the budget committee, for this, for that, for 14 different departments. We voted to approve our charter with both a town clerk and a town manager, as Joe was mentioning. The select board, the select board clerk is not shown. And I agree with Vicki that that's probably a dispensable
I think it would be redundant.
position if we can reduce that sum of money that we're asking for tonight. During this year's budget committee and select board workshops, the select board proposed 2 different budgets that could be put on the warrant for our regular town meeting. One of them was large and increased the tax rate. I don't remember the exact amount, but let's call it X amount. The other one was a smaller amount. Let's call it X amount. The difference between the two was pennies. It really was not a big deal. The difference is that the larger included both of the positions we're talking about tonight. The small one combined those positions to pay for the town manager's position. And I think I got this right. That's, as I recall. There was discussion at the workshop. Townspeople were not allowed to discuss it at the workshop with comments like we're doing tonight. We could watch it. And at those workshops, they discussed the pros and cons of larger and smaller. They determined that to go with the smaller budget, which combined positions, would keep the tax increase that we've seen. I think it's 49 cents, the mill rate increase 49 cents, at a minimum. We didn't have an option at town meeting to vote properly, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. If a larger budget had been proposed on the warrant at town meeting, the townspeople have the ability, as we're doing tonight, to reduce that amount. If a smaller amount is presented, the only thing we can really do is vote on it. We can't increase it to change how many positions are going to be included. We could reduce it, but it was already reduced. So we didn't get that opportunity at the town meeting. So what happened was, and those of you that were at town meeting didn't make it, was that we voted down the smaller budget. We reverted to last year's budget, which was X amount of $100,000 less. The select board then has the obligation to do with that as they see. So anyways, that brings us to tonight's meeting. And again, I'm gonna speak as a private citizen and taxpayer. I'm a senior citizen, I'm on a fixed income, and we lost the tax freeze. The two other options they've given us don't apply. I'm not gonna give away my estate, and I'm not gonna qualify for $2,000. I think I got $27 back. You would have to make $5,000 a year and have a tax of $2,000 a year to qualify to get that $2,000 that the state has thrown out there. Nobody's investigated it or discussed it. So anyways, back to the town clerk. And I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. Do we want a separate and distinct town clerk? To handle the affairs, we had a very experienced town clerk. We're not gonna get her back. But we expected an experienced town manager when we voted into the charter. We thought we'd have an experienced organization. And to me, to put on Lindsay's back, and I'll name her by name, the 4 other positions, as well as running 14. Let's give her some time to learn how to be a town manager. Because I think she's gonna be a great town manager. I honestly do. But with imposing those 3-4 other positions on her, she has to spread herself pretty thin. Maybe she's capable of it, but I would like to see her be a great town manager. Somebody that we can all look up to as running this town in an appropriate fashion and concentrate on that and not have to concentrate on being a town clerk and a registrar and a select board clerk, even though that's what her previous position was. So anyways, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Yes.
Canberra 29 Farm Road in Lyman. I signed this petition to get on the ballot because I believe this is a decision the public should make and not just the selectmen. That's where I stand. Thank you.
Any other discussions, Roger?
Roger Roy, Rule 111. I don't believe one person should have the authority of running 3 offices. The balance of what the rules in the town is the majority vote. So if you get 3 people voting on the same things, it's a balance. If you have one person having all 3, there's no balance. So that's not right. You should be able to other people have their word to be able to vote for this. But one person running 3 or 4 offices is not right. And what you mentioned, I can't remember your name, Michelle, you were saying that you made it sound like by putting this other budget on, you're gonna take money from the food, from the kids at school. She's saying it's surplus. So it's money that's already there. It's not touching the food.
It got taxes
No, it's
brought
not
up.
touching the food.
It got taxes brought up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Any other discussion? Now, I'll call for a vote. We're basically going to vote on the amendment. Now, you had it written down, Vicki. I hope somebody else does too. Do you want to read it again?
To see if the town will vote to appropriate from surplus the sum of $60,217 for the salary and benefits for the separate and distinct administrative position of town clerk.
So we're going to vote on the amendment. We're not voting on enacting it, but we're voting on amending Article 2, as Vicki has stated. All those in favor of amending the article, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
The ayes have it. So now we'll vote on the article itself as amended. All those in favor of the article as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
It's a vote. Is there any,
Thank you.
is there anything else to come before the meeting? So moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
I want that looked into about the amendment being changed, because every year he has said the only thing you can change in the article is the motion. I don't think that was legal.